Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge, and is it the end of Anthony Martial at Manchester United? Two conflicting stories coming out today. One, that Fenerbahce in Turkey desperately want to have talks with Martial and Manchester United to do a deal this January. But then another story coming out from TalkSport saying that the likelihood is that Anthony Martial will stay at Manchester United until the summer. And we all know what that means. That means no one else will be coming in January, because Martial going means we'd bring someone in January. So we'd end up with Martial for another 5 months. Not done a lot in the last 5 months, has he? Earning around £5 million between now and June before walking away with nothing. It would be embarrassing for Manchester United to be desperately trying to remove a player in January and have to keep him until the summer while he takes £5 million from us and then walks away for free to earn a shitload of money elsewhere. Incredible stuff. TalkSport are saying that Manchester United are trying to do a deal. The Fenerbahce deal is an option. Saudi Arabia is an option. But apparently Martial's not interested in Saudi Arabia, which, look, to be fair to Martial, maybe he doesn't want to go and play in Saudi Arabia. You don't want to go and do a Jordan Henderson, take their money and then realise you don't want to do it. But what I do find interesting is that, is he not interested in Saudi Arabia now? Will he be interested in Saudi Arabia in the summer? Because that might be a different story. Is it about, I'm not interested in anything now because I know I can make a hell of a lot more money in the summer? But that's the situation Manchester United have put themselves into. It's very easy to get frustrated at Anthony Martial, but there's only one person to be frustrated with here, or one identity to be frustrated with here, and that's Manchester United. I'm sure when Sir Jim Radcliffe and Sir David Brailsford and Ineos are assessing this amongst many other problems, they will not blame the player. They will blame the club for giving the contract and letting it run down. We have spent, I think it's around £100 million on Anthony Martial across his contract for wages and payments. And he's walking away from the club for nothing in the summer. How have we put ourselves into that situation? Why are we so weak? Why does it keep happening? Lingard, De Gea, Herrera. It keeps happening where these people walk away. They have a value and they've earned money. But look, what do you think is going to happen with Martial? I think that if we can loan him off to... Well, it's not a loan. Let's just say it's not a loan. People are talking about Fenerbahce doing a loan deal. How do you loan somebody who's got 6 months left on their contract? If he goes to Fenerbahce on a technical loan, it's a sale because he's out of contract. He's not coming back to Man United in the summer to train. He won't be training. He won't be going to America. He's gone at the end of June. That's that. So it's about... Basically, Man United are going to pay him £5 million between now and the end of June. Can you send him to Fenerbahce and get them to cover £2 or £3 million of it and save yourself a bit of money and get him out your hair? That's what they're looking to do. Can they salvage something from a bad situation, or are they actually going to have to swallow the embarrassment of paying him £5 million while he stays at Manchester United? And the other thing that's really embarrassing about this as well is that there's no way he's been ill for the last 2 months. Like, Martial got ill before Christmas and he's still ill now. Like, he's not ill. Let's be honest, we all know he's not ill. It's Ten Hag not using him as he's trying to get rid of him. If he now has to go back and use him again, player power, forget any other power, it's player power. You know, you're not playing for me until I get rid of you. I can't get rid of you. You can play for me now. I mean, it's just undermining the club and the manager again, and exposing to the world how weak we are in these situations. We want Martial to go in January, and then we're going to look at a replacement. That's why we wanted Timo Werner. That's why we didn't get Timo Werner, because Spurs are able to do the deal now, and we can't because we're trying to do this Martial thing. So however you dress this up, this is Manchester United at the moment. We would like to bring somebody in January. We've already missed out on our number one target because the player, Martial, has got the power over the club. And I don't disrespect Martial or blame Martial for looking out for himself here. The club are just weak. Martial is running this situation. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. I might just stay here for another few months and be a free agent. While United are going, please go. We'd like to get Timo Werner. Oh, we've missed him. Please go. We'd like to get someone else. We are in a weak position. Why are we in a weak position? Because this is what happens when you're owned by the Glazers. If we'd had a full sale and Qatar, they'd clear the debt, and as part of clearing the debt, they'd say to Anthony Martial, there's 5 million, off you go, let's go and get someone else. That's what happens when you have a full sale. That's what happens when you don't have the Glazers. When you don't have the debt and you don't have the Glazers, you can say to Martial, it's 5 million quid, off you go, you're off the roster, see you later, let's get Werner till the end of the season. But this is what is terrifying. We are still under a Glazer regime. And we may see change under Ineos and their footballing side. But Ineos are here now. It's very early days, but we're still seeing the legacy problems of the Glazers, whereby we can't go out and get somebody for our manager on loan till the end of the season until Anthony Martial decides what he wants to do. Martial is in complete control, player power, and this is something that has to stop. And look, I will say about Anthony Martial right here, right now, as I said about Rashford this morning, there was a time a few years ago where Martial and Rashford were my favourite two players. And I would love to still be in that situation. But evidence has proved me wrong. Martial hasn't delivered what we wanted him to. And I think he has been crippled by injuries. I think he's also received ridiculously unfair press in this country from certain outlets and ex-players who don't know him. And because he's quiet, they've said he's got, he's a problem. And I don't think he is. I just think he's a footballer that doesn't have the consistency or mentality to succeed at a club like Liverpool or Man City, and hence he's a Man United player, and that's why Man United have failed for so long, because we've accumulated players who, through injury, mentality and consistency, have created this underperforming team for many years. And Martial is a factor in that, like there are many other players. I don't dislike Martial. There was a time, like I said, where I believed that he could be amazing. And I still retain an affection for Martial as a player, because I believed in him when we first got him and for his first few years. But it hasn't worked out. And you've got to be real. It hasn't worked out. It's certainly not going to work out. And the way that Manchester United have handled it has been embarrassing. And we are now dealing with these problems with Martial and other players where they're in ridiculously strong positions, where for them, it's fortunate that they can put themselves into these financially secure positions and run out contracts and create more more earning opportunities for them, whilst United are sat there with the handbrake on. I hope that in the next 3 weeks, we can find a way to let Martial go and move on. But because if we don't, we've put ourselves in a position where Ten Hag again has exposed his feeling by not using him over the last few weeks, when really Rasmus has been ill and injured. We've got no one else who can play up front, but he still won't use Martial. So if he then starts using Martial again in February, he again weakens his position, because we all know he's purposely not been using Martial because Martial's not been ill for 2 months. So this is an embarrassing situation for Ten Hag if it transpires that Martial stays and he has to start using him again. And also, what does it mean for us, the fans? I mean, I don't mind Anthony Martial playing for Manchester United if he's fully fit in the last few months of the season. But it's a hard thing. And I sympathise with us as United fans, because we are asked a lot. All we want to do is watch our club and believe in our club. And we're asked to do more than that too often. If Martial stays, we're going to be asked to get behind Martial and support Martial when we know he's going to, when we know you were trying to get rid of him. And we know he's running his contract down to go for free in the summer. So even if Martial starts scoring goals in March, we know he's doing it to get a move away in the summer. He's not staying at the club. So on the one hand, we're starting something new with Ineos and we're building something. And on the other hand, we're still using quite a lot of players that clearly are not going to be part of that future. And then you're in limbo going, what is the plan? And that's sort of where we are, I think, at the moment. But look, as I say, contrasting stories. Fenerbahce are interested. Is Martial interested in that? And TalkSport is saying there's a chance that he'll actually stay at Manchester United. From Martial's point of view, maybe he doesn't want to play in Saudi Arabia. Maybe he doesn't want to play in Turkey. Maybe he still thinks he can score goals in the Premier League. Maybe he wants to wait till the summer and just see what's available in La Liga, France, Italy, England, But it's a mess. It's another mess for Man United. Get your comments in below. What are your thoughts on what will happen and what should happen? For me, this is just another indication of the player power environment that exists at Manchester United, where we put people on contracts that make us very, very weak. we'll have to wait and see what happens. Don't forget, we've got the call-in show at 4 o'clock as well. We're going to be talking about the, well, not Martial, we've done that today, but certainly the likes of Rashford, Bruno, Maguire, Varane, Casemiro. Stay or go is the show, and you can call in and have your say. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like and subscribe. I'll speak to you on the next one.